For millions of years, our ancestors were prisoners of their own biology. We had stood up, we had claimed the savanna, but we were still limited by what our bodies could do. Our teeth were flat, meant for grinding roots and fruit. Our nails were blunt, useless against the armor of a thick-skinned animal. We were surrounded by the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, meat and marrow, but it was locked behind a wall of skin and bone that we simply couldn't breach. In a world of claws and fangs, we were the unarmed. We were forced to wait for the scraps left by the true predators, hoping to find a bone already cracked by a stronger jaw. But then, a discovery was made. Not a discovery of fire or of language, but a discovery of edge. A moment where a simple rock ceased to be just a stone and became the first extension of the human body. Making a tool isn't as simple as hitting two rocks together. It requires a fundamental understanding of physics that no other creature had ever mastered. You have to find the right material, quartz, basalt, or flint. You have to strike at the perfect angle with the perfect amount of force. If you hit too soft, nothing happens. If you hit too hard, the stone shatters into useless dust. This is lithic reduction. By removing a flake, our ancestors created two tools at once. The core became a heavy chopper, capable of smashing through thick bone. The flake became a surgical instrument, a portable edge that could slice through muscle and sinew with ease. This wasn't just a lucky break. It was a planned act. Archaeologists have found evidence that these early toolmakers would carry high-quality stone for over 10 kilometers, proving they weren't just using what they found. They were planning for the hunt before it even began. To do this, our hands had to change. We developed a precision grip, the ability to hold a small object between the thumb and fingertips with immense control. This physical evolution and the mental ability to see the tool inside the rock were the twin engines of our survival. We were no longer just another ape on the savanna. We were the first engineers. The impact of the first blades was immediate and explosive. With a stone flake, a task that took a lion minutes of tearing took a human seconds of slicing. We could butcher a carcass and carry the best parts away before the larger predators even realized the kill was ours. But the real prize wasn't just the meat. It was what lay inside the bones. Marrow is the most calorie-dense substance in nature. It is pure fat and protein, protected by a bone casing that no tooth could crack. But to a human with a chopper, that bone was just a container. This Marrow Revolution provided the massive amounts of energy needed to fuel a growing, hungry brain. We weren't just eating better, we were building the biological machinery for higher intelligence. Every sharp edge we napped was a deposit into the bank of our future evolution. The blades changed our diet, but they also changed our time. Because we could process food so much faster, we had more free time to observe, to interact, and to think. The stone tool was the first labor-saving device, and the profit of that labor was the beginning of human culture. The most incredible thing about these first blades isn't the stone itself. It's the mind required to make them. To be an Oldowan toolmaker, you had to possess a mental map. You had to remember where the best quartz was located, even if it was miles away. You had to anticipate a need that hadn't happened yet. This is the first evidence of proactive behavior in the fossil record. Every other animal reacts to the present. The human with a stone tool is living in the future. They are preparing for a hunger that hasn't arrived. They are solving a problem before it occurs. This cognitive leap, the ability to plan across time and space, is the true spark of genius that would eventually lead us to the stars. But for now, it was enough to simply survive the night. These tools weren't just discarded. They were passed down. They were copied. The Oldowan industry lasted for over 1 million years with almost no change. It was a perfect technology, a master key that unlocked the world for us. And as we grew more confident with our blades, we stopped being the ones who hid in the shadows. We started to become the ones the shadows feared. The first blades were the first step in our long divorce from the limitations of nature. We had found a way to sharpen our world, to cut through the obstacles that stood in our way. We had become the toolmakers. And with these tools in our hands, the next challenge was no longer just surviving, it was dominating. But having a tool is only half the battle. To truly rule the savanna, we had to learn how to use these blades not just as scavengers, but to hunt. We had to learn how to outthink the fastest and strongest predators on Earth. To see how our ancestors used these first blades to rise from humble scavengers to the scavenger kings of the ancient world, click the next video. And to follow every step of this 30-episode journey, make sure to subscribe. The hunt is just beginning.